She was smiling on stage just weeks ago, and now she's gone. For decades, Jeannie Seely stood under the spotlight of the Grand Ole Opry, voice echoing through radio waves, her songs touching hearts. She wasn't just another country artist. She was a living part of country music's soul. So when news broke that Jeannie Seely had passed away, it didn't just shock the music world, it broke it. But what really happened? What was the cause of her death? And why is it that even now, days after the announcement, fans are still struggling to believe it? This isn't just a goodbye to a singer. It's a farewell to a legend who never stopped singing, never stopped showing up, and never stopped loving the audience that built her name. Jeannie Seely passed away peacefully in her Nashville home at the age of 84. Her death was confirmed by her publicist. He said she had been battling health complications in private. While the exact details are still being kept close by her family, sources close to her say that the singer had been facing issues related to heart failure and respiratory illness. But in true Jeannie style, she never made her struggles public. She smiled through it, performed through it, and continued recording new material even in her final months. What makes her passing even more painful is how active she was till the very end. Just last month, she was spotted attending a Grand Ole Opry event, warmly greeting fans, hugging fellow musicians, and even cracking jokes backstage. No one could have guessed that it would be her last time there. Jeannie had a way of making everyone think she was unstoppable, and maybe in a way she was. Born in Titusville, Pennsylvania in 1940, Jeannie Seely didn't come from fame or money. She came from hard-working, small-town roots. She moved to Nashville in the 1960s with nothing but a few songs and big dreams. Many laughed at her, but she kept going. And in 1966, she released Don't Touch Me, which not only won her a Grammy Award, but became a defining anthem for women in country music. Okay. Jeannie once said in an interview, "That song gave me my voice. Not just to sing, but to say what I really feel." And she lived by that. While others followed trends, Jeannie stayed true to who she was. Whether in her lyrics, her look, or her sharp sense of humor, she never tried to be someone else. Fans loved her for it. Back in a time when female artists were expected to stay quiet, wear long gowns, and sing softly, Jeannie wore miniskirts, made strong statements, and demanded to be heard. She often told young artists, "Don't let them shrink you down to fit their picture. Be your own picture." This spirit made her not only a star, but a trailblazer. She became the first woman to regularly host segments of the Grand Ole Opry. She fought for equal stage time, equal pay, and respect in an industry that often left women behind. It wasn't just about music for Jeannie, it was about fairness. But Jeannie's influence wasn't limited to her own success. She helped build others too. Young singers often spoke about how she encouraged them backstage, shared industry advice, or helped them deal with stage fright. Country star Carly Pearce once said, "Jeannie didn't just give me tips, she gave me courage." In fact, many artists who are now household names say that Jeannie was one of the first legends to make them feel welcome in Nashville. She had a way of remembering names, hugging like a grandmother, but advising like a seasoned general.
Oh.
She never saw others as competition. She saw them as the future. Jeannie was also a sharp writer. Her songs weren't just catchy, they carried weight. She wrote about pain, loss, and the complicated emotions most singers avoided. Songs like "Can I Sleep in Your Arms and I'll Love You More Than You'll Need" weren't just music, they were poetry. In an era when most female singers weren't even allowed to write their own material, Jeannie did it unapologetically. Her pen was powerful. Her lyrics reached hearts that many others never even tried to reach. Despite her fame, Jeannie remained grounded. She often said, "Country music saved me. I owe it everything." That sense of gratitude showed in how she treated people, whether it was fans asking for autographs, journalists asking the same old questions, or young musicians hoping for advice. She never lost her warmth. Even her funeral plans, which were reportedly written years ago, reflect her personality. She asked for a simple service filled with music, stories, and laughter. No black suits, no long speeches, just a celebration of a life lived loud and full. What shocks many is how her death reminds them of another legend, Loretta Lynn. Like Loretta. Like Loretta, she sang from her heart, not from charts. And like Loretta, she stayed on stage until her body simply couldn't anymore. The two women were often seen backstage sharing laughs, memories, and sometimes even advice for the younger generation. It's no surprise that country fans now say, another light has gone out in Nashville. But Jeannie wasn't trying to be anyone else. She respected history but never lived in it. She once said, "I don't want to be remembered just as someone from the past. I want people to remember that I showed up every time, right till the end." And she did. Her last album, an American classic, was released just a few years ago, and it featured collaborations with artists like Willie Nelson and Bill Anderson. The songs were filled with wisdom, humor, and the same powerful voice that first touched the world in the 60s. She didn't sing like she was old. She sang like she was wise. She once joked, "I may have gray hair, but my mic is still hot." Even in her 80s, she was hosting Opry shows, releasing singles, and mentoring new talent. Her calendar was always full. Her spirit was always bright. And her commitment to country music never faded, not even for a second. At the time of her passing, Jeannie was still in the middle of planning a new tour. She had written several new songs and was considering a podcast about her life in the early days of Nashville. She didn't slow down, she sped up. She knew her time was limited, but she didn't let that stop her from dreaming. That's what makes her legacy different from others. While many stars fade into silence in their final years, Jeannie roared until her last breath. She lived like every performance could be her last stand. Maybe that's why they were all unforgettable. Jeannie's death has left a space in country music that won't be filled easily. The Grand Ole Opry issued a public statement saying, "She wasn't just a member, she was the heart of our stage." Fellow artist Vince Gill added, "She brought truth to country music, and she brought soul to our lives." But her fans are not staying silent either. Social media has been flooded with messages, pictures, and personal stories. One woman wrote, "Jeannie helped me through my divorce. Her songs gave me strength when I had none." Another man posted, "She hugged me once in 1993 after a concert. I've never forgotten it." Now, as the music world prepares to honor her legacy, one question keeps coming back. Why do legends like Jeannie Seely still matter so much? Is it their voice, their awards, or is it something more? Maybe it's because they remind us of a time when music was honest, when singers told the truth, even when it hurt, when the stage wasn't just for show but for healing. Jeannie was that kind of singer. She didn't just perform. She connected. Jeannie Seely's connection to the Grand Ole Opry was more than just a membership. It was her second home. Unlike many artists who would come and go, Jeannie made it her mission to be present on that stage, week after week, even when health and age made it difficult. She once said, "The Opry isn't just a stage, it's a promise to the people who love this music." Her commitment wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. People who attended the Opry regularly knew they would see Jeannie perform, speak, and connect with the audience in her own genuine way. And when she wasn't there, her absence felt heavy. This loyalty and consistency made her a role model for many younger artists who watched her lead with humility, grace, and unmatched discipline. And maybe that's why her loss feels so personal. Because it's not just about missing a star. It's about missing someone who made you feel like you belonged. Someone who said the things you were too afraid to say. Someone who stood strong, even when others told her to sit down. So what do we do with this loss? Do we cry? Do we move on? Or do we carry her message forward? Jeannie Seely is gone, but her songs remain. Her laughter lingers. Her courage echoes. The world will remember her awards, but her fans will remember her heart. Will the next generation remember to be bold like her? Will someone write songs that hurt and heal the way hers did? Will someone stand on that Opry stage wearing boots and honesty, ready to make country music real again? The stage is empty now, but maybe, just maybe, the mic is waiting for the next truth teller. Are you ready?